Hello everyone. Welcome to this 45-minute beginner-based flow. My name is Chelsey and I'll be leading you through the class today. So we're going to start in child's pose. So bring your toes to touch at the back of your mat. Knees go nice and wide. Then sink your hips back towards your heels. Hands reach long in front of you. Forehead comes down. Start to relax in your child's pose. Start to sink down. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. I want to commend you for being a beginner, because being a beginner is really scary. You are embarking on a new journey. You are experiencing something you have never experienced before. You're being vulnerable to new ideas and new emotions. I'm a beginner right now too. I am a beginner at YouTube videos. And it has been quite the experience for me, like maybe being a beginner at yoga is quite the experience for you. And being a beginner brings up a lot of emotions, a lot of feelings, a lot of thoughts from our ego. I like to follow the holistic psychologist on Instagram. Her name is Dr. Nicole LaPera. And she says the ego is the voice in your head that tells stories and assigns meaning around who you are, who others are, and how the world is based on your past lived experiences. She says one of the purposes of your ego is to keep us in the familiar, to keep us in predictable patterns, because what the ego can predict feels safe. And therefore, what the ego cannot predict, these new experiences, feels unsafe and scary. So your ego might be telling you a story right now, I'm not good enough, or this should be easier, or why can't I do this like so-and-so, comparison. Your ego may be giving you a black and white scenario saying, there's no room for anything else. This is who I am. That's not who I am. But those stories do not have to be true. And in order to work through those stories, to heal that part of your ego that may be trying to hold you back, you can use self-observation of how you think, feel, and react. You can be conscious in the present moment. You can allow all of your thoughts, your feelings, and your reactions to come to you without judgment. This is a lot of work and it's really hard to do, but throughout class, I want you to focus on being present, observing yourself, all of your emotions, feelings, and thoughts during class, and letting them flow. Take a deep breath in. Take a long breath out. As you inhale, reach your fingertips a little bit further away from you. And as you exhale, let your hips sink down closer to your heels. On your next breath in, start to pull yourself forward, coming through a tabletop position and then all the way down onto your belly. Center your nose on your mat. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Elbows hug in. Take a baby cobra. Press into your palms. Lift your chest as you inhale. Lower back down as you exhale. Press yourself all the way up to a tabletop position, hands and knees. Give yourself a nice wide base here. Then shift your weight into your left side. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. Breathe in as you twist open. Thread the needle as you breathe out. Right hand reaches behind the left. Right shoulder and right ear touch the earth. Start to settle in here. See if you can belong through both sides of your body. Not letting your left side crunch up, but pointing your tailbone directly back. One more inhale. One more exhale. Press into your left hand. Use the strength in your arm to reach back up. Breathe in, right fingertips lift. Breathe out, tabletop position, hands and knees. So we'll take our modified side plank from here. So your left fingers will walk a little bit further up ahead of your right. Left toe kicks off of the mat. Then the right leg reaches long behind you. Open up onto your modified side plank. You're reaching your right side up, stretching your fingers and your hip towards the sky. Breathe. Good, now bend your right knee, start to move your right heel in towards you, and then come up all the way up onto your left knee. You might need to widen your stance a little. Then we'll take our right forearm, plant it down onto our right thigh. Left arm reaches up. As we reach, we lean over towards the right side, feeling a side body stretch here. Also pressing the left hip open to complete the stretch. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to your tabletop position, hands and knees pointing towards the front of your mat. We'll thread the needle on the opposite side. So shift your weight into your right hand. Left arm reaches up, breathe in. Thread the needle as you breathe out, left arm long. Left cheek to the mat. Then point your tailbone directly back and continue to breathe. One more inhale. One more exhale. Plant your right hand down. Lift up with your strength. Left fingers reach up into the air. Back to tabletop with your breath out. This time we'll take our modified side plank with the right fingers forward. Start to kick your right toe towards the back. Lift up, left foot reaches towards the back of the mat. Left fingers reach up towards the sky. Press down into your mat to lift your left side high. Good, now start to bend through your left knee. Come up onto your right knee. I'm gonna center myself here. Arms reach out, take a deep breath in. Lean over to the left with our breath out. Press the right hip forward and reach the right fingers up and over. Side body stretch. One more inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Find your tabletop position, hands and knees. Come forward, lower all the way down to your belly. Let's find our cobra pose again. Palms plant, elbows hug. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, back down. Press up to your tabletop position. Then find your downward facing dog. First downward facing dog of the day. Stretch it out. Lift your heels, shake your hips. Get nice and steady here, nice and firm in your foundation. Spread all 10 fingers wide. Then press down through all 4 corners of your hands. Let your tailbone move back. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, tiptoe your way to the top of your mat. Find forward fold. Feet are hip width distance apart. Hinge at your hips and fold down. Crown of your head reaching towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to shins, shoulders roll back. Exhale, forward fold. Big breath in as we rise all the way up to standing, upward mountain pose. Arms reach up, but keep the ribs pulled down. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Fingertips to shins, shoulders kiss. Exhale, forward fold. Then bend deep in your knees, plant your hands down. Come back to your modified plank. So your knees are lowered down onto the earth. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, pull the belly button to the spine. Breath out for modified low plank. Elbows graze the ribs. Cobra pose, lift your heart, breathe in. Move through tabletop, come back to downward facing dog as you breathe out. Inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale, let it go. Breathe in, heels lift, look forward. Breathe out, knees bend, start to walk towards your forward fold at the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Rise to standing. Head lifts up, arms reach up. Breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Step back, find your modified plank. Shoulders over wrist. Inhale, core tight. Exhale, lower down halfway. Cobra pose, breathing, lift your heart. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees at the bottom of your breath. Travel forward for forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Rise to the top, fill up your lungs. Forward fold, let it go. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. This time, maybe you're ready for your full plank. Inhale, pull the belly button in. Exhale, low plank. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Stay here in your down dog, in your home base. Or you can come to child's pose. Whatever your body is calling for, find the pose that will give you the biggest breath possible. We'll start to move into our standing postures, and as we do, do not forget that it's okay to be a beginner. And I hope that you allow yourself to enjoy the flow, the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, the good, the bad, the potentially ugly. Just breathe. Find your downward facing dog. If you're not already there, everyone take a deep breath in together. Let a deep breath out. Three-legged dog, right leg lifts to the sky. Warrior one, with your exhale, step your right foot forward. Left heel spins down. Arms reach up, warrior one. Now remember that our foundation is pressing down into the pinky toe of our left foot. Rib cage pulls down, arms lift up. Inhale. Warrior two, with your exhale, start to work your right foot over towards the side. Left foot drops open so that your left toes are now pointing off to the side. Another 45 degrees. They'll take it all the way over to 90. Start to relax down into your warrior two. This time, the entire blade edge of your left foot is your base. Press down hard and send your right knee forward. Take a look down at your right toes. Can you see them, or can your right knee rotate out slightly? Be strong here. Breathe in. Breathe out. We'll move to high crescent warrior. So gently drop your left arm down, start to rotate back towards the front. Now instead of the warrior one foot, we'll come up onto the ball of our toe and reach the arms up overhead. So it's similar to warrior one. I'll show you from the side so you can get a nice view. You're in your long stance here, but instead of the toes pressing down, you're actually lifted, the heel is lifted above the ball of the foot. Back leg is nice and straight, arms reach up overhead. Now one thing that tends to happen in this pose is that we tend to arch our back. So instead we want the pubic bone and the rib cage to pull together nice and tight so that we can keep connected. Breathe. Take an inhale. Start to reach forward with your exhale. Chest comes over the right foot. We're gonna step forward into standing knee raise. Left knee lifts up into the chest. Find your balance. If you don't like balancing on the carpet, you can take a block or maybe even a book underneath your foot. That'll give you a little bit better base. If you're like me, there's carpet everywhere in this apartment, so I've been learning to balance on carpet. Stand up nice and tall. And then take your hands around the front side of your knee. Release your left hip crease and start to pull your left knee in towards your chest. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe. Okay, now pull in through the belly button. We're going to let go. Inhale. Exhale, arms out to the side. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. Exhale, Tadasana pose. Good job. Arms lift up overhead. Breathe in. Forward fold. Let it go. Halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, take Vinyasa or step back to downward facing dog. It's your choice. We'll all meet back here in downward facing dog with a big breath in, a big breath out. Inhale, left leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, warrior one, step forward, find your foundation. Arms lift up. Now in our warrior one, our hips and our shoulders are forward. And we get that way from working our back hip towards the front. You'll feel a big stretch here through the hip flexor. Continue to breathe. One more inhale. Warrior two, with your exhale, start to walk your front foot over. Spin your toes, your back all the way facing the right side of your mat. Bend into the front leg. Press down into the blade edge of your right foot. Now can you see your left toes, or can your knee open up towards the side a little bit more? To relax through our shoulders. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, press them down, let it go. One more breath in. One more breath out. High crescent warrior. Drop your right hand down. As you turn towards the front, you're coming up on your right toes. A really nice modification for this, if you're having difficulty here, is to drop the back knee down. So this is our low crescent. You can see the shapes are quite similar, except you have the additional support of your dropped knee. Continue to breathe. A really big part of this pose is squeezing through the inner thighs, because we're on such a small tightrope here on our feet that it's hard to balance. So locking in through the inner thighs, take an inhale. Start to reach forward with your exhale. Shift the weight into your front leg. Come up. Standing knee raise. Right knee up. So start to work the hips in line in space. Your right hip might want to sneak up a little bit. Let it float back down. Then we'll interlace our hands around our shin, relax through the hip crease, and pull your knee in towards your chest. Shoulders drop down. Okay, lock in through the belly. Breathe in. Hands release with your breath out. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Tadasana, let it go. Good job. Arms reach up, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, inhale. Move back to down dog with your exhale, whether that be chaturanga or stepping back. Take a full breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, let it go. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. This breath in, lift your heels. Breath out, bend your knees, walk forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise to standing, breathe in. Chair pose, breathe out. Sink your hips back. Belly button stays tight and knees draw back so that you can see your toes. Arms reach up overhead. Start to shift your weight into your left leg and come back to your standing knee raise. Right knee lifts into your chest. So we're going to work towards eagle from a standing knee raise, which is my favorite way to get into the pose. So with our right leg lifted, we'll wrap our right leg over top of our left and start to drop our toes down towards the earth. So this is a kickstand version of the pose, the full expression, your legs all the way looped around. But for now, we'll take a kickstand here. Because your right leg is over, your right arm is going to come underneath your left, and you'll hug at your shoulder blades. So lift through your elbows, drop your shoulders down away from your ears, take a breath in. Bend through your left knee with your breath out, start to sink down. Create length through both sides of your body. See if your tailbone can draw directly back so that your left side and your right side are just as long. Breathe. Inhale, come back towards your standing knee raise. Start to unwind. Exhale, warrior three. Your right leg will draw back. Your chest will open, and then you'll teeter-totter your way forward into a straight line. Some people call this airplane pose. So we'll grow nice and long. Right toes spin down towards the earth, chest lifts. Breathe in. Keep dropping the right hip down with your breath out. You should feel this nice and strong through your left hip. One more inhale. Exhale, runner's lunge. Step your right toes back, fingertips plant. Step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, lift your heels, look forward. Exhale, bend your knees, come to the top. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Rise to standing, fill up. Chair pose, have a seat, take it down, hips sink back, belly button locks in. Your last chair pose here. Your last challenging, standing, balancing sequence of this class. Start to shift your weight into your right leg. Standing knee raise, left leg pulls up. We'll take eagle on this side. So the left thigh will wrap over top of the right. Toes step down onto the earth nice and light. The left hand is going to come underneath the right. Reach for your shoulder blades. Lift your elbows high. Take a deep breath in. Sink down with your breath out. Bend the right knee. Keep the belly button tight. And see if you can extend through both sides. Keep them nice and long. Lift your elbows like I'm pulling a string at your elbows and they're lifting towards the camera. Next inhale, unwind, standing knee raise. Exhale, warrior three. Start to swing back. Left leg lifts behind you. Chest stays lifted. Turn your left toes down so they're pointing down towards the earth. That will help drop your left hip in line so that your right hip turns on. Stay lifted through the chest One more breath in. Runner's lunge with your breath out. Gently step the left toes back. Down dog, step the right foot back. Come down onto your knees. Find your child's pose once again. Knees go wide. Arms reach out. Sink down and let it go. Settle into your breath. Settle into your thoughts. And know that your thoughts do not have to be your reality. Your thoughts are simply thoughts, and you can accept and explore them, or you can acknowledge them as they pass. Maybe instead of getting caught in your ego stories, you can find joy, or peace, or playfulness in this experience. It all doesn't have to be so serious. And we all do not have to be so perfect. Let's let that all go. And just have fun. And try to learn something new. Take a deep breath in. Let a deep breath out. Start to wiggle through your fingers. Then use your hands, pull yourself up to a tabletop position, hands and knees. Your fingers will spread wide. Find a nice foundation here. Then reach your right arm out in front of you like you're gonna shake my hand. Get nice and strong through the belly. Then reach the left leg nice and long behind you like you were in your warrior three. Inhale. Exhale. Next inhale, reach long. Exhale, see if you can crunch in, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, curl in, elbow to knee. Breathe in, reach long. Breathe out, come in. One more inhale. Plant down with your exhale. Good job. Next side. Get settled in your base. Then reach your left arm out like you're gonna shake my hand. Get tight in the belly, then reach your right leg out like warrior three. Inhale. Exhale. This inhale, go nice and long. Exhale, elbow to knee, curl in. Breathe in, go long. Breathe out, elbow to knee. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, pull in. One more inhale for length. Exhale, lower down. Good job. Come forward all the way onto your belly. And we'll work through some locust pose, a nice back bend for our class. So your toes will flip behind you so that they're tucked. Your fingers will interlace at your tailbone. Try to see if your palms can touch. Then start to separate through your elbows. Let your elbows go wide along your side. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale, press your knuckles towards your heels, lift your chest. Then lift your toes with your exhale, hold. Continue to breathe using the back side of your body for strength. One more breath in. Gently lower down with your breath out. One cheek can find your mat. away. Bring your chin back to center. Toes flip. Fingers interlace. Maybe you interlace them the opposite way. Elbows go nice and long. Roll your shoulders back. Inhale. Straighten your elbows. Lift your chest as your knuckles move towards your heels. Lift your toes. Exhale and hold. Let your shoulders move away from your ears so your neck is nice and long. Breathe in. Lower down with your breath out, opposite cheek to the mat. Okay, last time. Chin back to center, toes flip. This time we're not going to interlace our hands. You'll move your hands down by your hips, palms facing the earth. Start to roll your shoulders back. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your fingers, lift your toes. Exhale, hold. You can do it. Stay strong through your backside. Last breath in. Last breath out. Lower down. Great job. Press yourself up into your tabletop position, hands and knees. Then cross your ankles behind you. Roll back to a seat. Good. Don't worry, we'll work on that. You're on your seat. Your legs will extend long out in front of you. Press down into the earth. Lift yourself up onto your sits bones. Now take your right knee, pull it in towards your chest, and then start to open it up towards the side. The bottom of your foot will graze your inner thigh. This is our Janu Shirshasana legs. Our inhale, we'll lift our arms up. Exhale, fold forward, reach towards your toes. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, nose towards your shin. And maybe you're like, yeah, that's not happening. That's okay. Plant your hands outside of your calf instead. And continue to use your hands to pull yourself forward. And so sometimes our left side gets a little crunched while we're doing this. So maybe you can focus on being long through both sides like we have throughout class, and pointing your tailbone directly back as you fold. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, come forward. Bring your right knee back up towards the ceiling. Extend it long. Sit up nice and tall. Left leg pulls in. Open up your hip and let your bottom of your foot touch your thigh. Inhale, lift your fingers. Exhale, fold over. Breathe in, lift your chest. Breathe out, nose towards your shin. Again, pulling through our hands, letting our chest start to move towards our toes. Being long through both sides, right and left, nice and even. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, walk your hands back, sit up nice and tall. Pull the left knee in, straighten through the leg. One more time, sit up nice and tall. This is a Dandasana or staff pose. Both toes will pull back towards the shins. Inhale, arms reach up. You guessed it, exhale, fold over both legs, reaching towards the feet or towards the calves. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, nose towards your shins. So we want a really long spine here. So if you feel your back starting to round over or your shoulders starting to hunch. Maybe come out of the pose a little bit and see what it's like here with a long spine. You should feel this through your low back, through your hamstrings, through your calves. This is the full backside stretch. Inhale, lift your chest, look forward. Exhale, walk your hands back. We'll come all the way down onto our backs. So bend your knees, lower down. Start to relax. Heels come in towards our glutes. And we'll thread the needle with our legs. So we already threaded the needle with our arms. This time we're going to do it with our legs. So take your right leg, point it up towards the sky, and then make a figure 4 with your ankle over your left thigh. So your hip is nice and open, knees pointing out towards the side. Keep a nice flex in your right foot. Then take your hands, reach them through the hole in between your leg. You can wrap your fingers around the back of your thigh or the front of your shin and start to use your hands, the strength in your arms to pull your legs in towards your chest. Roll your shoulders down and back, point your tailbone directly forward. You can tell our breath is starting to slow down, just like our moves are starting to slow down. Inhale. Release your left leg with your exhale. We'll switch sides. Uncross your right foot, plant it down. Left leg lifts up and crosses over for the figure 4 through your left leg. Left toes flex back. Then we'll use our hands, reach through the hole in between our legs for the back of the thigh or the front of the shin. Strengthen the arms, pulls the legs in towards the chest. Shoulders roll down and back. Breathe. One more inhale. Release down with your exhale. Uncross your left leg. Then both legs will go long on the mat. Right knee pulls in towards the chest. Breathe in. Supine twist with your breath out. So use your left hand, pull your knee over to the left side. Then reach your right arm long. Gaze moves towards your right fingers. Even though you're twisted, feel long through the right side of your body. One more breath in. Pull your knee back to center with your breath out. And switch sides. Right leg long, left knee hugs in. Inhale. Exhale, supine twist. Right hand pulls left knee over. Left arm reaches out. Look over at your left fingers. Get long through the left side. Big breath in. Roll back to center with your breath out. Both knees pulling towards your chest. The last pose we'll take together is Happy Baby. So bring your hands to the outside edges of your feet. Bend your knees. Use your arms to pull your knees towards you. Tailbone is long and pressing down on the mat. Feel yourself connected from the back of your head all the way to your tailbone. You can take gentle rocks if that helps you relax. One big inhale. Exhale, release, come down to your Shavasana, your final resting pose. Take up as much space as you'd like. As you start to relax down, roll your shoulders down your back. Let your toes turn out towards the side. Palms facing up, ready to receive this rest. You've earned it. And then let yourself go. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a slow breath out. Start to bring small movements into your fingers and your toes, your wrists and your ankles, your elbows and your knees. Then reach your arms up overhead, full body stretch. Pull your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a big hug. And slowly come over to one side. Find your fetal position. Prepare for your awakening. Now use the strength in your arms to press yourself up to a seat. Eyes stay closed, hands come to heart center. Sit up nice and tall. It is the light within me that is honored by the light within each of you. From my beginner's heart to yours, namaste. thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for exploring something new and having fun. I really appreciate it. And I know that you'll appreciate it for yourself too. So we'll see you next time. Bye.